Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Saturday morning practice. Welcome, Rebecca. It's nice to be back. Today we're going to be focusing on a set of breathing exercise, what the North Indians call pana yama. Yama means practice, pana means the breathing, but focusing on the stomach. Okay, and we're going to pair that with some joint exercise. So I want you to first focus on your body, bringing your body and your mind together. Okay, the word yoga, that's the original word, North Indian word means is yuja. It means that it's the body and mind together. So first, I want you to focus on the very bottom of your spine. Now, I want you to kind of walk along that spine towards the top of your head. And as you walk up the spine, I want you to stretch the spine one joint at a time. Stretch it towards the ceiling. Stretch it as hard as you can. And then I want you to lean back the entire upper torso and then relax. Then I want you to open the shoulder and then relax. Then I want you to check your head, make sure that your forehead, move your forehead backward so the ears on top of the shoulder. Then I want you to focus on your chin and just kind of tuck in your chin slightly so the top of the head is on top of your spine. Now I want you to focus on the center of your palm. I want you to bring the hands up together with your mind slowly, mindfully. Bring it all the way up to the shoulder level. Now I want you to focus on the wrists. And I want you to turn the wrist one turn at a time. Know that there's a beginning and an end. And as you rotate your wrist, I want you to focus on the wrist and examine the change in your wrist, examine the feeling in your wrist. See if there's any warmth, any sweat, any numbness, any tightness, and perhaps even some pain. I want you to just focus it one turn at a time, right? So the name of the class is called Chi Therapy. Therapy is the word that we use to overcome disorder, both mental or physical disorder in the body. And the word Chi can mean many things, just like the Chinese language is such that it can be both very precise and very ambiguous at the same time. And there's actually two ways of writing the word qi. Today, we're focusing on the more common way of writing the word qi, which is air and rise. Rise is just a word for nutrients. So basically, what it's talking about is the lung and the heart working as a team and starting with the lung. So breath is the most important biological function. All the nutrients that comes in the body comes in the form of oxygen, correct? And now I want you to kind of slowly turn the other way. And so in at the end today, we're going to be doing some floor exercise that we call pranayama, practice of breathing, especially using the abdomen, the lower part of your stomach. More precisely, is using your diaphragm, so you can increase your lung capacity, as well as learning how to cleanse your body of all the stale air. Now, I want you to lower your hand, but before you do that, I want you to focus on the center of your palm. Bring the hands back down the same way you bring it up. Now I want you to focus on your body again. Start at the very bottom of your spine. Stretch your spines and then lean back, relax. Open the shoulder and then relax. Now we're going to move from the wrist to the elbow. So I want you to focus on the center of your palm. Bring the hands up all the way up to the shoulder level. Now I want you to focus on the elbow, and I want you to turn the elbow one turn at a time. Again, being very mindful that every time you turn, there's a beginning and an end. And when you start at the beginning, that's when you say, I'm determined to follow my elbow one turn at a time. Okay. And when you reach the end, you say, I'm going to be doing the next one exactly as well as I do the first one step at a time, one turn at a time. So that's the word chi in today is mainly about air and nutrient. the heart, and the lung together. Whereas next week, or then we're going to be focusing on different aspect of qi. In this case, it's really more about energy. In fact, the way of writing that word, okay, now we're going to turn it the other way. The way of writing the word qi is more a more traditional way, and it breaks down into two parts. It breaks down into two parts. That together means no fire. Okay, no fire. Okay, now I'm going to bring down the hands. Once again, adjust the spine, lean back, open the shoulder, relax. Now we're moving from the wrist to the elbow and finally to the shoulder. I want you to focus on the center of your palm. Bring up your hand, crossing your hand, bring it up in front of you, on top of you. And then I want you to stretch towards the ceiling, stretch as hard as you can. And then I want you to focus on the center of the palm. As you bring down your hand, I want you to open the shoulder and pointing the center of your palm outward as if you're touching the wall. And when you get down, I want you to be completely relaxed. And then start another one, bring it up, in front, on top, and then stretch. Open the shoulder, pointing the center of the palm outside, come down as if you're touching the wall. Completely relax, reset, start from zero, bring it up, focusing on the center of your palm, stretch, open the shoulder, feel the changes in your body, feel the changes in your shoulder, bring it back up again, stretch, open the shoulder, palms pointing outward, relax, together, stretch. Open the shoulder, pointing the center of your palm outward. Come down one last time. Together, stretch. Open the shoulder and then come down. Now we're going to do the other way. We're going to open the shoulder first, bring it back up, stretch, bring it back down. Follow the center of your palm. Follow the center of your palm. It's very important that as you do this exercise, you realize that this is actually meditation. It's mindfulness in motion. Meditation basically means that we are training our mind to be focused onto our body. Stretch. Follow the center of your palm. Bring it back down one more time. Open, stretch, and then bring it back down. All right. It's very important to learn to focus, to anchor your mind onto your body. It can be the center of your palm. It can be center of the bottom of your feet. It can be the fingers. Can be anywhere, any place. Right. Learn to focus. Learn to anchor your mind. Okay. So this is true when you do exercise. This is true when you walk. Try to focus on the bottom of your feet as you walk. All right. Now it's very important, and you notice. I don't know if you notice that when I do exercise, when I'm even energizing my body, I'm constantly swallowing saliva. I don't know if you notice that. If you don't notice that, at least you should notice that I hardly drink any water. And the reason is that as you do the exercise, you're cycling between the fight or flight and the rest and digest. When you're in fight or flight, the good thing is that you're releasing stress hormone, particularly you're releasing steroid, a natural steroid in your body, and that's when you reduce inflammation. Okay. The bad thing is that when you're energizing, you actually turn off all the functions that you need, including digestion, including your immune system. And so what you need to do is you need to cycle between the what's called the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. And when you come back to the parasympathetic, that's when you rest and digest. And you do that by focusing on your body. Don't let your mind wandering around. Okay, don't let it run around. Have it focus on your body. And when you do that, then you will find that your saliva glands is reactivated again. All right. So otherwise, you'd be. I see people carry gallons of water all day long. It's crazy. How much water do you need to drink? Why can't you just self hydrate? Okay. All right. So it's very important. Now, self hydrate is not just about the water. Self hydrate is about the enzyme that you need that starts your digestive system, right? And your immune system. It's very important. All right. So we're going to continue. And now we're going to go front and back. So I want you to come back to the body again. Focus on the bottom of your spine. Walk up to the top of the head along your spine. One joint at a time. Stretch your spine as you get to the top of the head. And then I want you to lean back, relax, open the shoulder, and relax. Now I want you to focus on the center of your palm, mind, body together. I want you to bring the hands up and in front of you, on top of you. And then I want you to bring it as far back as you can. Open the shoulder. Feel the pain in your shoulder. Let go of the pain. Come back to the center of your palm. Bring it back up again, slowly, in front of you, on top of you. As far back as you can. Feel the pain on your shoulder. Accept that pain. Let go of the pain. Come back to the center of your palm. Bring it up. Open the shoulder. Bring it as far back as you can. Feel it. Accept it. And then let it go. Bring it up as far back as you can. Feel it. Accept it. And then let it go. Let it go means come back to the center of your palm. Anchor your mind onto your body. Don't anchor your mind on that pain. Let go of the pain and accept it. Come back one last time. Open, feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Okay. Now we're going to do back and front, back and have your hands in the back as far as you can. Bring it up, stretch, bring it back down, all the way back, stretch, bring it back down, all the way back, stretch, bring it back down. One last time, all the way back, stretch, and then bring it back down. Now we're going to focus on the breath. Okay, so we haven't started, so it's about 10 minutes now, right? 10 minutes. And we haven't stopped meditating. It's just that we cycle between the dynamic and now we're in the static. Dynamic is when you walk, when you work in the kitchen, when you work in the yard, when you're doing exercise. Static is when you sit, when you stand, when you're lying down in the bed. Okay, so just remember this: you always anchor your mind somewhere. You always anchor your mind somewhere. This is like I was when my son is in his early 30s now. So 30 years ago, when he was just a toddler, I would walk him across the street like we always do. And so when you walk across the street with your young son, it's very important that you hold the hand, right? What happens if you don't hold the hand? Well, they run around, they get run over by cars, or they get kidnapped. That's what happens to your mind. If you don't anchor your mind onto someplace, it's like the little boat in the middle of a storm. You don't know where it's going to go. Every once in a while, and then it might turn over. Everything can happen to that boat. So you need to learn to anchor your mind. You anchor it onto your body when you're moving. You anchor it on your breath when you're not moving. So let's try that. But we still come back to the body first. Always anchor your mind on the bottom of your spine. Walk up the spine, stretch the spine, and then lean back, relax, open the shoulder, and then relax. Now we're going to anchor our mind onto our breath. But before we anchor, let's start with something else. Let's start with simple, like a stepping stone. We start with knowing. I know that I'm breathing in. I can feel my in breath. I can feel my body. I know that I'm breathing out one breath at a time. I know that I'm breathing in. I know that I'm breathing out one breath at a time. Okay? So we're going to continue. We have three more exercises before we start to do a sitting meditation. And a sitting meditation, it can has different name. It can be called microcosmic orbit, or it can be called wandering dragon chasing the pearl. So we look forward to that, right? But so we have three more exercises before we get there. Now, I was in Japan. I go there. I try to go there 3 or 4 times a year. And I go to Japan because it's the only place that really kept the Zen culture intact. The Zen culture is the in China is called the Chan, Chan, Chan culture, and that's the culture back in the Tang Dynasty, almost 2,000 years ago. And the only place where that still exists is Japan. And there's a word that they use called wabi sabi. You can look it up. Wabi sabi. Wabi sabi. Wabi sabi. It stands for two words. It's the way that they describe the art form. Okay. So when I go to Japan these days, I stay away from the big cities. I actually goes very far into the mountains where only the old people live now, right? So you walk into a what's called onsen, which is a hot spring hotel, more like inn run by the family, and you see lots of people, old people. They still work. They work every day. If you're familiar with the book called Blue Zone, Japan, particularly Okinawa, but Japan in general, is I consider one of the important blue zone where people live according to the sun, according to the earth. But in any case, wabi sabi means two things. One is accepting the impermanence. So you will notice that everything is built with natural material, the rocks, the woods, and so on. Whatever they can find in the forest, that's what they built. And they don't build it with steel, aluminum, marble like that. None of that, because those actually they want to build it with that represents something that just deteriorates in life, and that's why you can go to the same place 3 or 4 times a year. And in the winter, you see the snow. In the spring, you see the blossom, the cherry blossom. In the fall, you see the foliage. The same place, but you can follow how the nature, right? So one of the practice of Zen is to understand that things are impermanent, both the good and the bad. They don't stay forever. The set that's called wabi. Sabi is the other one where every artwork has some imperfection. They don't try to make things perfect, and you have to learn to accept the imperfection in life. This time I went there and I saw a scroll with written words and some pictures, and I find it very profound. And it talks about our emotion. And in the past, I talk about emotions, and I said some of them are called kusala, some of them are called akusala. Kusala translate into wholesome or skillful. They're like the loving kindness, the compassion, the joy, the empathy, and the equanimity, right? The service to people. These are the wholesome thoughts. The unwholesome ones are the chaos, the pain, the anger, the jealousy, and so forth. They're unwholesome. We can't really choose them. They happen. Sometimes they happen because of external factors. Sometimes they happen. Most of the time they happen internal factors. So in this little artwork, it says all of those emotions, whether they're kusala or akusala, their joy or their chaos or their loving kindness or their jealousy, whatever, they're like the fish in your pond. Some of the fish are very empathetical, like the beautiful carp, and some of the fish are invasive, right? Like the piranha or whatever. They're just like the fish in your pond. You just have to keep in mind that you are not the fish, you are the pond. You have a choice. You have a choice. Now, when somebody says something bad to you that is hurtful, you cannot ignore it. You have to learn to feel it. You have to learn to accept it. And then you have to learn to let it go. It's like the pond. All of a sudden, there's an invasive species comes in that you know is not good for you. You cannot ignore it. You have to accept it. Right? I feel you. I accept you. I am not going to let you go. Please leave. Right? It's like the presidential election. It's like the campaign. People are always going to be very pretty. They're going to talk about this and that. They're going to talk about how you laugh, how you wear your jewelry, everything. You cannot ignore those attacks. You have to learn to feel it, accept it, and then say, I'm better than that. I'm going to let it go. So the next exercise is learn to how to let it go. So let's come back to our body, stretch the spine, open the shoulder, lean back, relax. We always do that, okay? Now we're going to bring the left hand in front. I'm going to stretch out the right arm. Now it's very important that you separate the left from the right, separating the left brain from the right brain. So we're going to hold the left hand stationary. We're going to focus on the center of the right palm. We're going to bring the right arm together in front, making a nice big circle. Bring it on top of the head. Bring it as far back as you can. Feel that pain on your shoulder. Accept that pain. Let go of the pain. Come back to the center of your palm. This time, focusing on the left hand, right hand stationary. Bringing the left hand gently in front. Bring it as far back as you can. Open that shoulder. Feel that pain. Accept that pain. Let go of the pain. Sit up straight. Right hand. Open it. Feel it. Accept it. And then let it go. Don't bring it home. Don't bring it home. Just let it go. Let it go. Left hand. Open that shoulder. Feel it. Accept it. And then let it go. Sit up straight. Right hand. Feel it. Accept it. And then let it go. Left hand. Feel it. Accept it. And then let it go. Two more times. Right hand. Feel it. Accept it. And then let it go. Left hand. One last time. Feel it. Accept it. And then let it go. Focusing on your breathing, one breath at a time. Right? So we always said, don't bring it home. Don't bring it home, right? So a lot of anger and anxiety, a lot of hurt, everything. You know, at the workplace, that's how it is. That you get all these sort of things that comes at you, and we always said, don't bring it home. Don't bring it home, right? Let it go. Let it go. So the key to let it go is not just in the technique. It's not just like physical techniques. Say, okay, focus on the center palm. Don't let it go. I mean, let it go. Just keep focused. It also comes from your state of mind. How do you actually let something go? We focus on two things. To truly let something go, you start to start with gratitude. You got to be grateful for what you have first, right? Because then you have something to anchor your mind on. It's like coming back to work. Be very grateful to your family, your significant others, your kids, your siblings, whatever. Come back to that. Be very grateful. Always be grateful. The second thing you have to do is not only are you grateful, but you accept people as who they are. So those are the kind of the building blocks for finally letting go. Okay. All right. So enough of that. We're going to continue exercise. Before we get to the sitting meditation, we got to learn how to relax. We got so much stress in the body. We got to relax. So the next exercise is going to be more energetic. And so comes again back to the spine, stretch, open, relax, lift up your right arm, focus on the center of your palm, make a soft fist. Get ready? Open those fingers, feel the vibration coming back to your shoulder. Up, come back to your body. Down, down, up, up, down, down. One last time. Up, up, down, down. Open the shoulder. Two hands together. One, two, three, four. Open those fingers. Five. Okay. Now, every time you do an energetic exercise, you got to spend equal time on the restorative. Okay. And the reason for that is that when you do an energetic exercise, you're releasing stress hormone. I mentioned that already. allowing your body to heal because the steroid goes into your body, reduce inflammation. But you got to spend equal time on the restorative because you got to maintain the sensitivity to the steroid, right? So I'm going to come back, focus on our body, focusing on the breath, one breath at a time. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. Okay. All right. So now the last exercise before we start the sitting meditation is basically energizing the vagus nerve, right? The vagus is an important part of the parasympathetic nerve. That starts basically at the very bottom of your spine, goes eventually inside your stomach. And so we're going to be exercising the shoulder, exercising the neck, exercising the back, and then also coordinate it with a deep breathing. All right. So the way to do that, it's very simple. Once again, stretch, lean back, relax, open, and relax. Then we take a thumb, we put that in front of the shoulder, roll up the four fingers. This exercise is simple, comes in four parts. The first part is we lift up the elbow, we lift up the shoulder, we stretch your entire upper torso towards the ceiling as if we're bringing the shoulder onto our ear. The second part is when you point the elbow back, you open your shoulder. You open as far as you can as if you're squeezing a tennis ball in between the shoulder. The third part is when you lower your elbow and you completely relax. The last one is when you point your elbow forward, you're looking down, you're bending your back. Now, from here, we're going to move up. So bring the elbow up, looking straight ahead to the camera. Bring the elbow back. Now you're looking at the ceiling, 45-degree. Bring the elbow down, looking straight ahead again. Bring the elbow forward, looking down again. As you come up, we're going to do a deep breathing. Close your mouth. Breathe in very gently, all the way until you open the shoulder. And then when we come down, we'll breathe out very gently until you completely looking down. Okay, get ready, go. Breathe in, lift up your body, open your body, breathe out, bring it back down, relax, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Close your eye, okay? Breathe in, breathe out. This is all about you. There's nobody else. Breathe in, breathe out. One last time. Breathe in, breathe out. Lower your hand, completely relax. One breath at a time, focusing on your breathing. Okay, now we're ready to do sitting meditation. And this sitting meditation is has its origin in the yogi practice, of course, but it's been refined by the Chinese a couple thousand years ago, and it's a technique that commonly called microcosmic orbit. Now, the Chinese has been astronomers and astrologers for thousands of years, and they have a term that describe how the moon circles around the sun, and that's called microcosmic orbit. Now they also know that it's always been the Earth that circles around the sun, right? Oh no, I might have said it wrong. Microcosmic orbit is when the moon circles around the Earth. Macrocosmic orbit is when the Earth circles around the sun. And this is actually two distinct techniques, one after another. And today we're just going to focus on what is called microcosmic orbit, circling the chi around the body, going up to the back, coming down in front and back again. Okay. Now, before we do that, we understand that this technique is also called wandering dragon, chasing the pearl, which is actually a better name because it's easier to teach and easier to learn. And it, whatever it's called, it comes in three parts. The first part is called mindful of your body to cultivate your chi. Now, in this case, the chi is in your stomach. This part of the body is something that we call the dan ten. Ten means feel. Dan means fire. Okay, and so in order to do that right, there's a lot of prerequisites. The first one is how you sit. This sitting posture is called the 7 point support, seven support point sitting posture. You divide the body into seven parts. The first are your legs. So when we sit, we say we sit like the bell. When we stand like the pine tree. When we walk like the wind. And when we lie down like the bow, like bow and arrow. So sitting like the bell means that the legs are the pedestal of the bell. So if you sit on the chair, make sure that the bottom of your feet are touching the ground, nice and firm. And when you sit like I do, make sure if you have to, put some blankets and pillow, so you're not lifting up your legs. You're not creating stress with your legs. All right. So that's number one. Number two is that you have to relax your hands. You don't lift it up. Again, you don't want to use any muscle right now. It's the opposite when we stand. When we stand, we need to use muscle. We don't use the structure. When we sit, we use only the structure. Then the third part is the part that I've been repeating since the beginning of the class, which is your spine. So the way to sit is you first start at the very bottom of your spine. When we sit like the bell, it means that the spine is like the clapper that is inside the bell. It needs to be hanged from the ceiling. So you start at the bottom of your spine, you walk up the spine, slowly stretch the spine as if you're hanging your spine onto the ceiling. And then you lean back, relax. The reason you do that is when you after you stretch or you lean back, then you're not using any more muscle. Your weight of your upper torso is supported by the spine and not by the back muscle. Then you open that shoulder and you relax that shoulder. Then you focus on your forehead and you lean back the forehead so that the ears on top of the shoulder. Again, that way you're not using your neck muscle. You're supporting the weight of your head with your spine. Then you focus on your chin and you tuck in your chin. So the top of the head, there's an energy point here called 100 meet, where all the yang energy comes together. You want that to be pointing to the sky. You sit like this. This is what we call one pillar supporting the sky. The last 2 points are the eye. So relax the forehead, relax the eyebrow, relax your eyelid. So you close your eye, but you don't shut your eye tight. You just relax your eyelid like the way the baby sleeps. So that you can see a little bit of light coming through your eyelashes. You can actually kind of see your knee, your hand, the floor. And then finally, this is important. You close your mouth, you relax your jaw. You take the tip of the tongue and you put it behind the teeth, where the teeth meets the roof of your mouth, right behind, right here. This is the energy point where the yang energy joins with the yin energy. Yang means sun, yin means the absence of the sun. Okay, and so the tongue becomes part of the conductive path, but also by lifting up your tip of the tongue that way, You're also restarting your saliva gland, reactivating your saliva gland, forcing your body into rest and digest. That's a sitting posture. Now, there's actually one more thing that is very subtle. You don't actually have to do it, but you actually, towards the end, it's required. In the beginning, not so, but in the end, it's required. And that is to put some pressure in the back where the kidneys are. Okay. And there are a couple of ways you can do that. The easiest way is you take your upper torso and you lean forward. Then you lean back, but as you lean back, you hold your hips in place. So as you lean back, you feel some pressure in these 2 points. Now, the Chinese believe that the internals, the kidney, the liver, the heart, the splint, and then the lung, these are the yin organs. These are the organs that get developed first because of the nutrient energy that you receive from your mother. They're called the yin. And only after that, then you develop the yang organs, the intestines, the stomachs, the bladder, and so forth. So the yin organs represents the 5 elements. The kidney represents the water, which is the source of life. And so when we say mindfulness of a body to create, to cultivate the chi actually comes from the kidney, comes from the water element. And so the proper way to sit is you stretch, lean back, relax. And then you rotate your hip forward. So you put pressure right here. These 2 energy points represents the kidney. All right. Now, but if you cannot do it, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to do it right from the beginning. But you will find that as you practice, it comes naturally. Now, there's an energy point in between these two, right in the middle. Now, this is actually, you have 2 kidneys. So one is yin and one's yang. I don't know which one's which, but just say that one is yin and one is yang. And then in the middle, there's an energy point right here, right here. And it's called the gate of life. And then in front of that energy point, there's one right here. It's actually right below the belly button. And that's called the sea of qi. So here is yin, here's yang, and then you have yin yang on both sides. You have 4 energy points. Now, once again, let's just practice. First, we're going to stretch, and then we're going to lean forward, and then we're going to lean back, but try to keep the hip in place as you lean back, and then relax. Now, mindful that there's an energy point in the middle, and there's an energy point in front. So now we're going to focus on the breathing. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. As soon as you know that you're breathing in, focus on the belly button and bring the belly button forward. Basically bringing that energy point for the sea of qi as far out as you can. As soon as you're breathing, you know that you're breathing out, you bring the belly button back as if you're collapsing this energy point for the sea of qi and the energy point in the back in between the kidney called the gate to life. And you bring those 2 energy points together, bringing the yin and the yang together. When you breathe in, move the belly button forward. When you breathe out, move the belly button backward. It's very simple. You do that first by relaxing. Okay, don't try to beat your body into submission. Just relax. Feel your breathing. When you feel that you're breathing in, move the belly button forward. When you feel that you're breathing out, move the belly button back. Okay, and gently, gently. Okay, now we're going to sit for 3 minutes like this. Okay. Now, this first part by itself is already very beneficial to your body because when you breathe in, you push your belly button forward, which means that you're bringing down the diaphragm, increasing the lung capacity, getting more oxygen into your body. When you breathe out, you take the belly button and you bring it back, which means that you're pushing your diaphragm up and pushing out as much stale air at the very bottom of your lung as possible. Right? So these two are very important already. If in when you exercise the diaphragm like that, you also cycling your body between the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. When you breathe in, that's energetic, you're in the fight or flight. When you breathe out, you're in restorative, you're in the rest and digest. So the very not only are you improving your breathing, getting more oxygen into your body and getting more of the toxins out of your body, but you're also improving your insomnia because the reason you cannot sleep is because you have too much stress hormone. You don't know how to shut it off. These days, we're calling it um, autonomous disorder. Okay, when you have too much stress hormone, when the cortisol, when you don't know how to dissipate the cortisol in your body, you don't have any melatonin. You don't have any melatonin, you cannot go to sleep. So this exercise by itself already improve your, if you have insomnia, already does that. It also improves your digestion because it's constantly massaging the intestines. But it does something else. I just read this morning that a young lady, relatively young lady, a person of 56 years old, who used to be the CEO of YouTube, right? You know that YouTube is part of Google, but these days they run it as individual division and target company by itself is called Alphabet. Anyway, YouTube is a separate entity, and the woman who runs it, a very well-known technologist, just died, 56 years old, from lung cancer. This is scary. They're just like a pandemic of cancer, lung cancer, intestinal cancer, pancreas cancer. Cancer is not a disease. It's not a disease. It's not because you're being attacked by an external agent. It's a disease of your body. Is that your body can no longer support life form. So the cells has to degenerate in order to survive. And it cannot support life form because there's just not enough oxygen in your body. And it's either because you don't breathe properly or because you have too much toxin in your body. It's a very scary thing. Okay. But it's something you can change. It's a lifestyle disease. And you can learn to do proper breathing exercise. So I'm just saying that even though it comes to three steps, the first step is already very beneficial. Now, the second step is something that we call practice to chi to cultivate the mind. Okay? Now, where's the chi? The chi is right here. What does it mean? It means that as you breathe with your diaphragm, you're constantly pushing the intestines. Intestines are piezoelectric, which means that you have a lot of static electrons right now in your abdomen. That's why it's called the field of fire. Now, what we want to do is let go of the breathing. I know that I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. Now, I'm going to focus at the bottom of my spine. As I breathe in, I'm going to walk up the spine as if a dragon is walking my spine towards the top of the head. As I do that, I stretch the spine. Okay. Now, what you're doing is you're actually generating a electric potential. And as you generate electric potential, you're guiding these free electrons through your spine to the top of your head. How do you do that? You don't actually have to do it. You just have to think it because there's a chamber between your left brain and your right brain. That's why when we do the exercise, we have to say, don't move the left hand, move only the right hand. Separate the brain. That way you separate the left chamber from the right chamber. And now all you have to do is think it. As you move up the spine, you're guiding electrons through the spine to the top of the head. And as you breathe out, you start from the top of the head to the forehead, to the bridge of your nose, to the tongue, comes back down to the belly button. And when you do that, you relax, you lean back and relax. Okay? Now it's very simple. You start at the bottom of your spine. As soon as you know that you're breathing in, you walk up the spine, you stretch the spine until you get to the top of the head. As soon as you know that you're breathing out, you start at the top of the head, you go to the forehead, the bridge of your nose, through the tongue, down to the stomach, and you lean back and relax. Breathe in, stretch to the top of the head. Breathe out, lean back and relax, come back to the belly button. Okay, very simple. This one is the second step. It's called it's called practice the chi to cultivate the mind. 3 minutes, okay? Okay, open your eyes. Now, that's all we're going to do right now. We're going to do the full exercise, and then we're going to come back and finish with the third part. Third part's a little bit more abstract, and but in any case, 3 minutes is not enough. This is just a demonstration. So if you're interested in this technique, you need to kind of spend a little bit more time, right? Maybe at night before you go to sleep, and try to just cycle up and down like this. And what you find is that after a while, you feel this energy rising on your spine all by itself. You just feel it, and then you just like following it. That's why the technique is called the dragon chasing the pearl. Right, the pearl is that energy that rises in within you. What you experience is actually magnetic resonance between your energy and the energy of the universe, and it's magnetic energy, right? That's why when we talk about the yin and yang, Yang is the presence of the sun. So when the sun dominates, you're feeling the magnetic presence of the sun and nothing else because it's just so dominating. But then when the sun set, then you feel the magnetic energy of the universe. And the Chinese actually long ago, long before Galileo, have identified juniper, right? Because it's the biggest star. Juniper takes 12 years to go around the sun. That's why you have the 12 zodiac. But not just the Juniper, not just Jupiter, but they also identified four other stars that are important: the Mars, the Venus, and so forth. And then they named them after the five elements: the water, the soil, the earth, the 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 vegetations, and the mineral like that. And they believe that those five elements are a big part of our existence: the sun and the absence of the sun. And when you practice this technique, you actually feel energy rising within you because you're creating resonance with the universe. That's what the Chinese believe. That's what separates us from the zombies, is the life energy. Okay. All right. So we're gonna get ready to do the floor exercise, but before that, let's do some stretching of the back. Stretching of the back. That's where the 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 yang energy rests. Okay. All right. So before we do that, we're gonna exercise the diaphragm. Right. The diaphragm is very important. So we're gonna do 3 deep breaths. Okay. Once again, sit up straight, stretch, lean back, open the shoulder, completely relax. Fingers locking. Put that in the belly button. Now, remember we call this the sea of chi. This is important, right? This is important. This is called the middle of being. And we're going to take a deep breath from here to here. Okay. Now, focus on the center of your palm. As you breathe in, lift up your hand, lift up your body. Okay. Get ready. Breathe in. Now, follow the center of your palm. Breathe out. Stretch, lock your elbow, look straight ahead, open the fingers, come down, open the shoulder as if you're climbing the mountain, and then completely relax, back to locking the fingers again, completely relax, breathe in, breathe out, looking straight ahead, climb the mountain, stretch your elbow, stretch your shoulder. One last time, breathe in, breathe out, looking straight ahead, climb the mountain, back holding the hands, palm facing up, palm facing down. Follow the hand until you lock your elbow, looking straight ahead. Bring up your hand, focusing on the center of your palm, in front of your face, on top of your head. Lean back slightly, forming a straight line between your spine, the top of the head, and the center of your palm. And we push towards the ceiling as hard as you can, and then we lean back, locking your elbow. Hold it, come back to the middle, push as hard as you can, completely lean to the left, hold it, come back to the middle, push as hard as you can, lean to the right, hold it, come back to the middle, push to the left, come back to the middle, push again to the right, and then come back to the middle. Focus on the center of your palm. Bring down your hand. Completely relax, focusing on your breath. Remember now, we go from the energetic to the restorative, maintaining that balance between the autonomous nerve system, focusing on your breathing, one breath at a time. Okay? So, restorative means that we're restoring sensitivity to a stress hormone, right? Very important. Very important. We're all watching the Olympics, right? So we see people lifting tremendous amount of weight. We see people running for miles. We see people jumping into water. All these energetic exercise, and I mean this is achievement of mankind, no doubt about it. But there's actually a very sad part to it, and it's not a secret. But most of those athletes die very young. their body is totally inflamed because there's so much they do so much energetic exercise. Right? So this is something you have to be careful. It's the balance that matters. That's why we call it therapy, restoring the balance. Okay. Stretch your spine, open your shoulder, relax, taking the right hand, put that on the left shoulder, lean back the forehead so you're putting stress on the right shoulder. You take your left hand, you grab your right elbow, you stretch your spine, and then you lean to the left. Come back, sit up straight, and you lean to the right. And then you come back once again, back to the breath, one breath at a time. Now I'm going to stretch it inside of our arm and outside the arm. Okay. Now stretch, relax. Left hand, palm facing up. Right hand, put that between the fingers in the palm. Bring that down. Push out the elbow, lock your elbow, looking straight ahead. Bring up your elbow, palm facing forward. Okay. Now don't turn your body. Just bring your left hand to the right. And then come back. Relax. Right hand, sit up straight. Bring your hands down, lock your elbow, looking straight ahead. Bring up your hand. Without turning your body, bring your right hand to the left. And then come back, relax. Focusing on your breath, one breath at a time. Once again, stretch, open, lean back, relax. Right palm facing full upward, left palm facing down. Open the shoulder, push, lock your elbow. Push down, lock your elbow. Now take your right hand, bring back your right hand, right arm. Rotate your head to the left, to the shoulder. Rotate your eyes so you're looking at your back. Bring back your eyes, bring back your hand, and then relax the other way. Open your shoulder. Push left up, lock your elbow. Push right down, lock your elbow. Lean back the left arm, rotate your head to the right. Rotate your eyes until you're looking at your back. Bring back your eyes, bring back your head, and then completely relax, focusing on your breathing, one breath at a time. You're going to stretch your back. Sit up straight, open your shoulder, relax. Put your hands together, locking the fingers. Put that at the bottom of your spine, palm facing up, palm facing down. Bring it down until you lock your elbow. Focus on top of your head. Bring the top of the head up and then push down your center of your palm. One up, one down. Stretch your spine and then relax. Lean back the forehead so you're looking at the ceiling, 45-degree. Now bring up your arm as much as you can and then relax. Back to the breathing. One breath at a time. Sit up straight, open the shoulder, put your right hand on the back, look straight ahead, and then bring your right elbow up, shoulder up, and then relax the other hand. Sit up straight, bring your left shoulder up, and then relax back to the breathing. One breath at a time. Open your shoulders, sit up straight. Right hand, back of the hand touching the lower part of your spine. Two fingers pointing the left shoulder. Now bring your right shoulder down and your fingers up. And then relax. The other hand. Bring your left shoulder down and your fingers up. Now take two hands. Fingers touching, looking straight ahead. Right shoulder up, left shoulder down. Relax. Changing hands. Sit up straight. Left shoulder up, right shoulder down. And then relax. Back to the breathing. Okay, one last exercise called the reverse Buddha. Open your shoulder, lean back, relax. Palms together, fingers pointing down, fingers pointing up, bring your hands up, center the palms touching, looking straight ahead. Use your palm to push your spine forward, and then at the same time, open your shoulder. One forward, one backward. Hold it. focusing on your breathing. And then relax. Okay? All right, now we're going to get down to the floor very gently. And we're going to continue to do some joint exercise with our knee. Okay? It's very important that we're loosening up all our joints. The knee is like the elbow. The heel is like the wrist. And then the hip is like the shoulder. Okay, so we're gonna have to loosen it off before we do the floor exercise. First, the shoulder, the knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. Now to the heel. Right foot first. Heels up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now left foot forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now the toes. Now this standing exercise, standing on your toes, is actually very important if you have lower back problem. Lower back problem has to do with kidney deficiency. Okay, so this is a very good exercise. Now focus on the top of your head, push the head up so you're standing on your toes. Focus on the top of the head, otherwise you fall, okay? And then when you come down, you impact the heel and relax. Second time, focus on the top of the head, down, and relax. One last time. And then down. Now we're gonna kick our feet. We stand on the left, we lift up the right, we focus on the top of the head, and we go 1, come back to the top of the head, 2, come back to the top of the head, looking straight ahead, 3, now the other side, looking straight ahead. The key is not to focus on the bottom of your feet, the opposite, okay? 1, 2, and 3, okay? One last joint, hip, very important. As we get old, it's very important that we exercise the hip so that when we fall, we have a way of restoring our balance. Otherwise, if you don't know how to use your hip, then you're going to fall, okay? Catastrophically. Now we stand on the right, put the hands together, we bring to the left, we form a straight line between along the heel, the knee, the hip, and the shoulder. And we twist as far back as we can. We go forward and then we relax. Second time, we twist the left hip and then relax. One last time. And then relax. Okay, now we're going to do the other way. We stand on our left foot. We bring the body to the right. We form a straight line. We twist forward, back. We twist forward. And one last time. Forward. Okay, all right, so now we're ready. We're ready to do this exercise that I call pranayama, breathing with your stomach. But you don't even have to think that. You just have to follow, and you will find is that it really does magic in doing the showing you how to do breathe properly. It's actually also a meditation practice. By focusing on the center of your palm, bring it up 1, bring it towards your body 2, bring it down, lower your knee 3, and then standing up 4. 1 and 2 is the breathe in. 3 is the breathe out. 4 is the relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Close your mouth. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Follow the hand. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Changing form, breathe in, crossing your hand, breathe out, open, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. One last time, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Now we're going to do standing meditation for 1 minute. Okay. Now standing is the opposite of sitting. Okay, sitting is the earth element where you don't want to use your muscle. Standing is the fire element where you actually want to use your muscle, not your bone. And so we stand like the pine tree, which means that first we're going to plant our feet firmly on the ground as if we're growing roots. Then the rest of the body has to be flexible, which means that we're kind of loosening up a knee. We don't lock a knee, okay? We're loosening up knee, so we're activating the calf, the second heart, okay? And then from the knee, we're going to move to the shoulder. We open the shoulder, we relax the shoulder. From the shoulder, we go to the forehead. We lean back the forehead. We tuck in the chin, and then it goes to the eyelid. We close your eye, but we don't shut it, so we can actually see the floor, so we're not losing orientation. And then we're just going to focus on the breath, one breath at a time. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. Make a commitment. 1 minute, 60 seconds. Focus on your breathing, one breath at a time. If your mind leaves, walks away, invite your mind to come back with compassion. Okay, all right. So now we're going to do the second form, which is what we call balloon breathing, where we stand on our right foot, lift up the toes on the, we stand on the left foot, we lift up the toes on the right foot, we're looking at the ceiling for 45 degrees. We bring up the hands, we follow the hands, we roll our body forward. So the heels is up on the right side, we're looking at the ceiling of the floor, 45 degrees. We open back up. And as we move forward, we follow the center of the palm and we breathe in. As we roll back, we breathe out. One breath at a time. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, in, out, breathe in, breathe out. One last time, breathe in, breathe out. Lower your hands. Go from the center of your palm to the center of the bottom of your feet. Firm it firmly, plant it firmly on the ground. Loosening up the knee, loosening up the shoulder, loosening up the forehead, loosening up the eyelid, and then now focus on your breath, one breath at a time. Okay, now to the left side. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, in, out, in, out. Very gently, very mindfully, breathe in and breathe out, in, out. One last time, in, out. Follow the center of your palm, follow the center of the bottom of your feet, and we're going to stand for another minute, focusing entirely on the breath, one breath at a time. Okay, now we're going to do the third movement, which is called the butterfly. Open your shoulder, focus on the center of your palm, bring it up. Follow the center of your palm, bring it back down, lower your knee, straight down, okay? Bring it back up. Now raise your heel, standing on your toes, focusing on the back of the hand, touching the back of the hand. Come back down, breathe in. Going back up, breathe out. Focus on the center of your palm, back of the hand touching, heels up, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. One last time. Breathe in, breathe out. Back of the hand touching, lower your hand, lower your feet, your heel, and then 1 minute of meditation. I don't know how many of you are old enough to actually have a piggy bank when you were young. We used to have a piggy bank, right? So me and my two brothers, we used to do paper routes, and we, you know, whatever it takes to make some money. And we put the coins in the piggy banks, and when we had enough, we go buy something. We actually save enough money to buy a pool table. That's how amazing it is. When you focus on your breath, imagine you have a piggy bank and you're putting one coin into the piggy bank one at a time. So when you focus on your breath, it's like you're putting a coin in the piggy bank, one breath at a time. And after you put that coin, you let it go. You let it go and you come back to the next one as if it's the first one. Okay? So imagine that. All right. So 1 minute focusing on your breath, one breath at a time, just like you put one coin at a time into the piggy bank. And after you follow that one breath, you do another one as if it's the first one. Okay, now we come to called push hand. All right, so this is the one that actually requires the movement of the wrist and the heel, the elbow and the knee, and the shoulder and the hip. Now, you stand again with the right foot forward, but you don't lean back. You just stand like this. But now you imagine you have a water wheel in front. You bring your hands to the 9 o'clock, the 12 o'clock, the 3 o'clock, all the way down. Then you look straight ahead and you push. As you bring it up and down, you breathe in all the way in, and then you breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Completely relax, okay? So I think remember one time we talked about the key to this exercise. We use the 4S. The first one is sponge, as if you're a sponge absorbing the energy into your body. The second S is called supple. I thank you for that word, supple, right? Very supple skin. The third one is called soft, and then the last one is called slow, very slow. Breathe in, completely focus on your body. Feel the air running through your fingers, feel the air coming into your abdomen. Breathe out. Wax on, wax off. Breathe in, breathe out. Follow the hand. Breathe in and breathe out. Come back. 1 minute, one coin at a time, one breath at a time. Okay, open your eyes. Now to the left. Get ready. Go. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. In. Out. One last time. Breathe in. And breathe out. Okay. Now this is the last 1 minute standing meditation. Let's make good use of it. Make a commitment of focusing on one breath at a time. Okay, and then now the last one is called just up and down, and we only do this 3 times. Very energetic exercise. Get ready. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lean forward and then stand up again. Breathe in. Lean backward and then relax. Second time. Breathe out. Breathe in. And then relax. One last time. Breathe out. Breathe in. And then relax. Okay, completely relax. Back to the sitting. I think long ago I said that the purpose of this class, the many purpose, but one of the purpose of this class is to explore and experience the dimensions of our existence. And so when you say, what does that mean? It means that we need to look beyond this body. Our existence is not just in this body. It's not just in the collection of working parts. It's in the body, but it's also in the energy that flows through our body, and that energy has to do with our solar system. So you have to live according to the earth, according to the sun, in order to be healthy. So we talk a great deal about health, and we talk a great deal about processed food. When you consume processed food, you're not consuming according to the sun. These are not real food. They grow in factories. They don't grow on soil. Or maybe once upon a day, but they don't really. So you got to explore the existence beyond the body to understand that you are a living being, living within the universe that are dominated by the sun, but also dominated by the absence of the sun. But there's some more. There's another dimension of existence, which is in the mind. In the mind. Now, this is not knowledge, this is experience. I can sit here and tell you all I want is like I'm talking about visiting Japan by opening a book. You got to do it for yourself. You got to experience it. You got to open that window and jump out. Be part of the scenery. Okay. So this requires hard work. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to continue with a meditation. We're going to cycle from the spine up and then coming back down. As we breathe in, we move up from the spine to the top of the head, stretch the spine. As we breathe out, we come back into our belly button. Okay? Now, the third part is very abstract. The third part says emancipating your mind to achieve emptiness. God, what does that mean? What does that mean? So it's very abstract. So what we do is we revert back to the other name for this technique called the wandering dragon chasing the pearl. So you practice diligently, as I said, you will feel something in your spine as if energy is rising on its own. That's called a pearl. You follow with your mind. You're the dragon. The dragon always chase the pearl. Pearl rises, you chase the pearl to the top of the head. The pearl comes back down, you chase the pearl. But it's a wandering dragon, meaning that dragon has to be free. Free, meaning that dragon climbs up your spine. Don't constrain the dragon on your top of the head. Instead, think of the top of the head. There's a cloud, the ancestral home of the dragon. You let go of the dragon. Let the dragon go beyond the top of the head into the cloud. And then when you breathe out again, the dragon comes back out from the cloud, along, comes down to your belly button, into your stomach, your dantian. Think of the dantian as the cave for the dragon. Let the dragon rest in the cave. Let your body breathe on its own. And then when your body breathes in again, you rises up, let it go. And when it come back down, rest into the cave. Don't be a hurry, okay? And then just let it go. Now after a while you feel that the top of the head is very cool, as if the, the cloud is cooling the head, and you feel that your stomach is very warm, like the dragon's cave. Okay, so let's just sit for 5 minutes, and then we'll be in a class. Okay, all right. Now you got to experience this. Okay, you got to experience this. You got to invest to get return. Okay. Okay, open your eyes. All right, so I hope you enjoyed today's class. It's nice to be back. I'm going to be here for a while. I won't be able to do much traveling. There's a chance I might travel in October, but very small chance. The reason I'm not traveling is that my kids are coming back and everything. They just want us to take care of the pets while they travel. So we're all booked up until the end of the year, taking care of the pets. But in any case, very nice to be back. Very nice to be with you. And again, I told this story before, and I love the story about the priest explaining the devil and the angels to his followers. And one person stand up and says, "Well, how do we know which one to choose? Which one dominates, the devil or the angel?" And the priest says, "Whichever one you feed, whichever one you feed." So this is consistent with the story I told today about the fish. The fish can be your compassion, your loving kindness, your empathy and community. It can be your selfless. Uh, it can be the opposite. It can be the opposite. But you're not the fish. You're not the fish. You're the pond, and you have to choose which one to feed. So let's do a prayer. My favorite prayer. My favorite prayer, the Serenity Prayer. I would like all of us to have the courage to be the messenger. This last 3 weeks, a lot has changed in politics. Not because the message has changed. The message have not changed. The messenger has changed. I want all of us to internalize that and say, I can be that messenger. Let's put our hands together. Let's focus, close your eye, see through the dark clouds and all that in the eyelid to see the light. Focus on the light, focus on that positive energy, the source of positive energy. Name it if you need to. I name it. I name her my creator, God as I know her. I want to thank her for the grace. I ask for the courage to be her messenger, to bring positive changes to my family, to my neighbors, to wherever I can go within my ability and resources. The courage to bring forth the message of loving kindness, compassion, empathy, and equanimity. I ask for the serenity to accept that there's not much change I can make. The only change I can make is to myself. I accept that everybody is going to make their own choices. Feed the devil, feed the angel, whatever they want to do. As the man said, it's none of my business. I ask for the serenity to accept that. I ask for the wisdom within me to know the difference and to make this a better world than the one that is gifted to me. Namaste. Goodbye, everyone. See you next week, okay? Keep up the practice. Bye-bye. 星期一見. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. 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 And thank you for all the donation, by the way. I've been wanting to do it. I just because travel and all the stuff that stack up, I haven't been able to do it. Hopefully, in the next couple of days, I'll be able to do that counting and send the money to bring everybody home. Okay. And by the way, he's going to be with us on Tuesday, right? Tuesday, this time is the second Tuesday because he had to take off last Tuesday. So hopefully we'll see all of you. Unfortunately, I cannot do that live anymore on Insight Timer, so you would have to go to my other platforms to actually listen to his presentation and his meditation session. Okay. All right. Thanks again. Thanks everyone. Thanks Catherine, Rebecca, Susan, who else? Kay, Brooke, Martha, of course. Yeah. Thanks everyone. Thanks for everything. Okay.